Powered by Riverside.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of You Guessed It. You can't make this BS up. This is part 2 of the Danielle Parker story. We're going to be talking about how she had murdered her wife, Crystal Parker. The last time we was on part 1, I had said Crystal make the statement. Let me rephrase that, take care of that right here, right now. As a typo, it was Danielle that had made the statement. Now, right now, Danielle is in the hot seat because she has basically told everyone in her statement, oh, I wasn't there. And I don't know what happened to my wife. We ain't seen each other in a week. But before I jump into that, I want to tell everyone that, yes, the Patreon is up. Please look us up on You Can't Make This BS Up on the Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/You Can't Make This BS Up. When you look me up, please support it. I got different tiers. We're going to be working on podcasts about, gangsters, Hollywood, everything you can think of extra. I can't put out here. I'm going to put on there. Start with $5 a month. I also started a subscription with all my people that are on the Apple podcast listeners. Okay, so please check that out. You'll like it. I got the different tiers. I think it would definitely be beneficial to you. Again, this is season 2 of Killer Wives. These are wives that kill for either love, they either kill for greed / money or revenge. I mean, that's just what it is. These are the wives who are getting rid of their significant others because that's just where the time they're on. So without further ado, we're going to jump back into the Danielle Parker story, Crystal Parker story, and continue to press on about what else to expect further into this investigation. So right now, the police is taking Danielle Parker's statement of, oh, I was not there. I have not seen my wife in a week. Now, they also found out from Crystal coworkers that someone sent a text that when she did not first show up, they called her phone. No one picked up. They then turned around and sent a text because it was not like her 4th of July to miss her work. She responded back with the, oh, my father is sick. He's in the hospital. Okay. All right. So they didn't hear nothing else from her all day that's after that or the next day. They reached out to her father. Hey, we heard you in the hospital. How are you doing? Father's like, yeah, I'm in the hospital. I'm not in no hospital. I'm good. All right. You're not in the hospital. Something's going on. So they're doing a welfare check, trying to find out what is going on with their beloved officer. And that's when they get the worst news ever. Now, Crystal was a beloved officer. All right, I want to give you some context about Crystal. Crystal was the type of officer that she was the people's officer. Okay, people loved this woman. They loved her because she understood what it was like to be misunderstood. And you got to understand something. At the time, East Point, Georgia, had a lot of crime, a lot of rough areas that they were turning around to be respectable areas. And because of her keen ability to relate to people, people just was drawn to her. They just enjoyed her tenacity for the community. She was what they, like I said, she was the people's cop. Okay, she's the type of person that before you do something wrong or crazy out here in these streets, she's gonna talk to you about it. She's gonna break down to you what you could be facing, and then gonna leave the ball in your court. That's the type of woman she was. Now, meanwhile, while this is going on, okay, the police is at a standstill of who the suspects are. Because in their mind, they're like, okay, who would want to kill this beloved officer? She's loved by she's married, but as far as we know, her wife loves her to death, as she puts it. We can't, you know, could it be someone she arrested in the past, got a vendetta against her because she took them down? Could it be wrong place, wrong time? This is the stuff that detectives have to really exhaust before getting channel vision, because you don't want to get, it's not channel but tunnel vision, and focus on just one thing. Oh, okay, this is what it is. That person's a suspect and that's it. They really got to play their cards right here. So while they're trying to figure this out, okay, they start getting more information from the family, because the family's like, yo, let me give y'all a little insight on the relationship with Danielle and Crystal. Danielle and Crystal relationship was not as beautiful as everybody thought it was on the outside. Danielle had issues. Danielle's issue is that she did not know how to reciprocate the same type of support that Crystal was given. Crystal had provided a home, uh, good financial stability, independence, a rock for her to lean on when times got rough. She upheld her end of the bargain. The problem was Danielle wasn't doing her end of the bargain to be self-sufficient. And that was because he stated this. She stated this because Danielle had a tendency of wanting to be on the computer, iPad, video games all day. She really was not trying to better herself. And it was really irking Crystal nerve. Because Crystal's like, I can't believe this. I'm out here busting my ass, doing what I gotta do, could get killed at any time, trying to make sure that this girl is living. We're trying to accomplish the American dream, and here she is, not even trying to do nothing at all. So here was another thing about Crystal that came to light from family. About Danielle that came to light from families and friends. That Crystal was to the point that she was tired of this girl not trying to better herself. So she basically was like, in so many words, look, if things don't get better, I don't know what we gonna do, but I can't do this. So that's when Crystal, that's when Danielle come up with the whole point of, hey, I want to be a nurse. 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 So Crystal's like, okay, you want to be a nurse? All right, I support you. I help pay your tuition, whatever it needs, book supplies for you to be a nurse. Well, problem is, everyone saw that Danielle was not trying to be no nurse. Danielle was trying to hustle somebody so she don't have to work. What? That's right. She didn't want to work, baby. She didn't want to work. She wanted to be that chick that sat home and got pampered and do what the hell she wanted to do. And Crystal was, once again, you in love, snowball for a little bit. And then Crystal started to realize again, okay, wait a minute. I'm paying all these bills and I'm not getting nothing. This girl is still not trying to better herself. She's still being a bum. So, with that being said, Crystal just was getting tired. Okay. And Crystal really was trying to felt like she was being more of a helper than a lover. They weren't lovers no more. It's like, okay, you are a parasite sucking the life out of me and I'm the host. It wasn't no more, we are trying to build together and be this super couple. So the thrill was gone, man. It was gone really, 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 really soon, as fast as it began. And then, not to mention, too, she started to realize she was getting played. All right. Now, Danielle was the type of chick that she also liked to be very demanding of your attention. You ever had that one person that you dealt with, you know, they don't do nothing for you, they're not going to help you? Give me 1 second, guys. All right, I'm back. Sorry for that delay of a break there. So, like I said before, friends were saying that Crystal started feeling played. And Crystal was starting to feel played because not only was this girl being demanding to her time, but this girl also wanted her to be like a caterer to her. You know, some people can just be so how can I put this? Demanding of your time, want you to do everything for them, but when it's your turn to get that type of response from them, it's an excuse not to. So yes, Danielle was very selfish, and not to mention too. Not only was she selfish, she could not keep them legs closed. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. Danielle was a serial cheater. When I say a serial cheater, they said this girl did not mind bringing the chick back to the spot or wherever they got to go or wherever she at, having a good time and get down with the get down. And every time she get caught up, she always said the magic words, like a lot of these serial cheaters that do when they get caught. Baby, I'm sorry. You know that I don't mean to do things like that. It happens. Take me back. I promise. I'm gonna get it together. It's gonna be all about you, boo. I promise you. I'm gonna make it up to you. Yeah. And then it does not turn out to be that way. It turns out to be the opposite. Once again. So even though Danielle had all these wishes and ambitions for her mate, she just couldn't hold her end of the bargain. And so friends started telling Crystal, look, man, you need to break this thing off for good. You know, you keep coming back and keep coming back, and she's not going to change. But I know how that is. You know, sometimes you could be so in love with someone. It could be, you know, not only with just their beauty, but their presence. And, you know, you just feel like there's no one else out there that's going to compare. And I know that sounds crazy, but there's a lot of people that's like that. Like, you feel like there's no one out there that's going to compare to that person. And you just wind up and say, you know what? I'm going to take you back. And it just keeps going on and on and on and on and on until finally you have to snap out of it and say, you know what? This person is not really healthy for me. Because either me or that person going to wind up catching the case. I'm just being 100. So for years, D tried this. D tried, aka Danielle, kept aggravating Crystal, and Crystal kept trying to get Danielle to grow up and be about the relationship. Well, finally, Danielle cheating has gone too far, way too far. Um, a few months before her untimely death, Crystal was doing a late night shift at a local club where she was security. Usually when she's doing this club work, she don't get home sometime at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning based upon what they got going on. But that particular shift, it was slow. They told her they didn't need her services, she could leave early. Well, she was on the phone with one of her homegirls talking about, yeah, man, night slow, ain't nothing going on, rose. And when she pulled up at her home, she said, wait a minute, there's somebody car in my driveway. You know what I'm saying? Sounded like my man Mr. Big. With Mr. Big said, I had to turn the TV down. Cause I know I heard a squeaking sound. Yeah, that's what she was hearing right before her eyes. Why is this car in my door at 2:30 in the morning? So Crystal figured she knew. So she did what anybody do when you know somebody in your life, in your personal life, is doing some shady stuff. You don't go through the front door, you creep through the back door, right? And she did. And when she did, Crystal thought Danielle in the house with another woman. Now, Danielle tried to make it seem like this woman is up there chilling with her, is innocent. There's nothing major going on. But you know what? Crystal wasn't hearing it. Crystal already in peep game. Listen, man, I know what you're up to. Y'all probably done did what y'all needed to do before I got home or was under the process of doing it. But guess what? Y'all can do what you want to do because I'm out. And that's just how that went. Because she was looking at it as you brought another woman into our home, into our personal space. For all I know, you might even have her on our bed. That cannot be forgiven. That is like the ultimate betrayal. Have a great day. So, give me 1 second here. So after this went down, and Crystal decided to uh, decided to kind of back off. Well, while this is going on, Danielle working like hell to get this woman back. Danielle is doing everything that she could not to uh, get this girl to forget about her. Even though she was forced to move in with her mother, she would still come through there, still acting like, yo, you still my wife, girl. You know what it is. And Crystal would allow this. Now, a lot of friends say Crystal did this because Crystal felt bad because she was like, we've been together for a long time. We got history. I can't cut her off like that, man. It is what it is. But little did Crystal know is that this woman was not there to show love. She was there to get that control back because she was tired already of not being able to do what she wanted to do when she wanted to do it. Now, let me tell you what else Crystal made a mistake doing. Crystal was still giving this girl money. Anytime Danielle says she needs something, Crystal didn't hesitate to say a word. Go reach down in her pocket, gave it to her. Listen, whatever you need, blase, blase. Now, I kind of can see why she would do this because legally they're married, okay? Based upon the union, Crystal is just trying to show face. All right, we're married. The girl's still gonna need me because I'm still a financial support system. So it's not like they automatically divorced and all of that that comes out later. So anyway, when Danielle finally moved out, Danielle decided that she was going to go down to Florida and visit some family and friends. So they had a class reunion. Now, Crystal decided to go back to her hometown, Florida, because they had a family class reunion. She's going to go down there. So while Crystal goes down there, Crystal meets one of her classmates that she has not seen in a while. And this woman saw Crystal and was blown away. She was blown away by how fine, y'all women like to say handsomely, that Crystal has become into her own in her truth as an LGBTQ plus person. And she was feeling them. She liked the swag. She liked what Crystal was putting down, and Crystal liked what she was putting down. And they started to have a whirlwind romance, dating and enjoying each other's company. Crystal's going back and forth, seeing this lady, and actually happy, just glowing, talking about, oh yeah, she's the truth. So, meanwhile, people still want to know, well, how does she feel about this new girlfriend she had? she's being pushed out. This young lady has found the love of her life now. How she feel about that? So they started to find out that Danielle had lied about her whereabouts. She was at the Crystal Parker home on the night that Crystal allegedly passed away for 25 hours and 17 minutes from the morning of July 3rd all the way up to the afternoons of July the 4th. So everybody's like, okay, so she was around when this girl died. This can't not be no accident. And then the investigators discovered between Danielle and Crystal's phone that about 3 days, Crystal had been lying dead in her bedroom. They realized that Danielle and Crystal's cell phones were peeping were together basically. Both phones were tracked up to the same place in another county, right? And just west of Atlanta. And from that location, the home of Danielle's mother, someone had used Crystal's phone, sent those texts to her captain, saying Crystal couldn't come to work because her father was ill. Those cell phone records were crucial. They pointed the finger at Danielle. Based on that, the investigators descended on Danielle's mother's house on July the 9th with a search warrant. And that's when they matched the caliber of weapon that was actually used to kill Crystal. The investigators immediately brought Danielle in for questioning. When they found when they told her they found a 38 ground ammunition and found Crystal's cell phone, they had Danielle boxed in and hoping to wring a confession out of her. The investigators showed Danielle the gruesome crime scene photos of Crystal's body. This is someone you used to call wifey, but this is basically your crime. She had no reaction, absolutely no emotion for a person that had been together with someone that she said she loved for 5 or 6 years. Let me tell you about that too, guys. Some people can be so self-absorbed with their life and themselves that they don't want to feel the pain that they cause their significant other or their loved ones. They just want to be able to inflict pain. This is the type of chick that probably really enjoys causing pain. No more, no less. She enjoys that. She gets into that. So, anyway, her being attached and all that stuff, she just thought that there's no way they could figure all this out on her. So anyway, after not showing no emotion, and feeling that she's being rejected by Crystal because Crystal had moved on, everybody started revealing that this girl had a gunshot to the back of her head. Oh. So when Danielle got all this so far on her, on these records, they done searched the home of Danielle's mother. they started putting together that Crystal was this gravy train for Danielle Parker. All right. Danielle knew the train is up because Crystal is slowly but surely not showing the same energy she did when they were in official relationships together. She's moved on. She's happy. She's not. She's basically adamant about her to get her stuff. Now, during this time, people also found out after she killed this young lady. I think it was after. Hold on. They started searching on Danielle's computer. Well, Danielle started searching for the victim's obituary actually the day after 4th of July. So you cannot say that you are an innocent person and you did not participate in this crime if you are actually the day after the murder occurs, you're looking for your spouse's obituary. No one looks for their spouse's obituary unless they know their spouse is out of here, checked out, finito. No one does that. Now, while Crystal was on the phone with her new girlfriend, police believe that Danielle or that call or something that she got became enraged. She realized that this relationship was over and she had to have seen it. It was a classic case. If I can't have you, nobody else can. And that's what it was. Because that night, that's when she crept back. She probably was begging old girl the whole day, yo, take me back. You know, I love you. I cherish you. And Crystal probably told the same thing. Look, I heard this before. Listen, we better off as friends. Let's keep it at that. And I think that when she saw that number came across, that lady called, checking on her, and she said, yeah, boo, or yeah, baby, I'm good. I can't wait to see you, blase, blase. That's when she probably said, okay, so this is the game we gonna play. That's how they talk. That's how they talk in their head when they done messed up. And that's how this all came down. So with that being said, it was all about, can we convince the jury that Danielle is a killer? That was the biggest thing on these investigators' mind. But there was a new development that not even Detective Rashid Hamilton didn't know he was gonna find. So he's looking through Danielle's phone. You know, Danielle's now under arrest, blase, blase, going through the process. And he looked at this phone and saw a number that just kept popping up. And it was by on the phone, it was under the name Quentin. So like anybody, you kind of, you know, be like, okay, who is this Quentin character? Because I know that most of the characters that's been in this has been women. This first time we got a man brought up here. What was this about? So they decide to interview Quentin on the 15th of July. Now, Quentin's told everybody, listen, man, I met Danielle at the beginning of June. And he said, yeah, we exchanged numbers, all that good stuff. You know, really started hanging out, getting to know each other. Now, Danielle said that he tried to Quentin said he tried to put a move on Danielle. Danielle was like, yeah, she was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I want to take it slow, real slow, and get to know you. What? Yeah, I said the same thing too. What? That don't even sound normal. But she would hold his hand in public, public PDA, all that good stuff. Now, Danielle also was very standoffish. Like, he had to do side hugs with her. He couldn't touch on her lower area. Like, he felt like, yo, am I really dating you? Or am I basically just trapped here? So she also told him about her ex-husband. And when she played the ex-husband card, the soon-to-be ex-husband, she told the man it was basically a male and that he was abusive and he was trying to get her. Well, to lo and behold, she's playing this card, right? Because guess what she basically want Quentin to do? She want Quentin to help her get rid of possibly Crystal. Oh my God. Quentin's like, nah. Mm, 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 mm. So with that being noticed and that being talked about, and now they find out that there's a guy named Quentin in the mix. Now, this younger guy said about Danielle was she texted him telling him that she was going to her ex's bathroom to do what it was. She said she was going to her ex to pick up her stuff. That's what it was. She called him and said, "Hey, I'm going to my ex. I'm picking up my stuff." He told her, "Quentin, be careful." Next thing you know, she calling him frantically talking about I did it. And he's like, "You did what?" "Yes, I did it." So basically killed the person that was supposedly abusing her. What the? And you can't get no wider than this. Quentin was like, "Listen, I don't want no part of this, man. Look, I ain't even messed with you yet. I've gotten up with church hugs during this whole situation. So no, baby, this is so awkward. I'm good. I'm good. Wish you the best of luck, but I ain't doing this." Shout out to the man that shot that off, man. Mm, 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 mm. Gotta give him props because he used some common sense. Now, as this all went down, it seems like this is when Danielle snapped and decided that she was going to take this into her own hands. And that's when she proceeded to take out her, take her out. It's crazy, ain't it? So anyway, Danielle, 32, was charged in July 2013 for murder. Okay? And not only that, the prosecutors in them was convinced they had enough evidence to fry her to the moon and back. All right, guys. So, sorry for that short delay there with my beautiful barking dog. Anyway, after all this comes out, man, it really shows the callousness of this woman's demeanor. And with all this evidence and all the things that was going on in front of her, Danielle do something that nobody was prepared to do the day of the trial. After 5 in 2013, she decided to cut a plea deal. Now, she did admit her guilt for what she did to her wife and everything else. She pleaded guilty to first-degree murder. Now, let me tell you about this heifer here. Yeah, I said this heifer. Even though she pleaded guilty, you know this chick ain't said sorry to the family and remained defiant in the end, not to show any remorse to her wife that had carried her crazy butt all these years, 6 years. You know that's cold, bro. Real cold. So in so many ways, it's like I looked into the case. It didn't say she did a Alfred plea, but it made me felt like it was like an Alfred plea because you're gonna admit that you're guilty, but you're not gonna apologize and atone for the things you've done wrong, man. That's how I feel like it is. So anyway, they gave her life in prison with the possibility of parole after 30 years. Now, it was said that Danielle had gone to trial and would have been actually convicted. She probably would have got life in prison with no possibility of parole. That's right, no possibility of parole. So, she played her cards right. She started writing on the wall. Now, a lot of people not happy with the sentence. A lot of people say that they think that it was a slap in the face, it was disrespectful. But man, listen, it is what it is on this because Danielle went to jail at 37 years of age. She's not going to be eligible to get out till she's 67. And I'm quite sure that Crystal's extended relatives will be around to stop her from getting out of parole. So she'll possibly die in prison. And this is what it is. I mean, her life is over. Definitely over. So if you want to link up with this type of person and show her love, she is currently serving time at the Pulaski State Prison in Hawkinsville, Georgia. What? Yeah, my wife is from that area. Hawkinsville, Georgia. Yeah. Pulaski Prison is where she's at. Women's prison over there. Uh, feeling that 30-year sentence all the way down to her soul. Rest in peace to Crystal, man. So I'm going to say this. This case, to me, why I like this case so much, even though I had a lot of hiccups in doing this case. Shout out to my kids and my beautiful wife. I wanted to do this case because I felt like that this case was one of those cases where it just goes to show you that you can be married to somebody for so many years and not know a damn thing about it. And you could be married to your own death and don't even know it. And this is what happened with Crystal. Crystal really loved this woman, saw this woman, courted this woman, brought this woman into her actual space, tried to build her up, did everything a mate should do when they're in love. And at the end of the day, she got murked. And this woman does not feel like she did anything wrong. It's sad, man. There is some cold-blooded killers out there. So that is the story of Crystal Parker and our suspect, Danielle Parker. So if you get on those websites that says jailhouse love, whatever them jailhouse pen pal websites for love is, you see her name pop up, you better run. Don't write that fool. Don't you write her. Just because she might get out at 67, she might still fuck you up. Oh man, I had to say it at the end. Listen, guys, thank y'all for part 2 of this episode for this season right here. I want to give a shout out to everyone that's been supporting the seasons. Man, I'm really having fun doing this podcast. I also want to give a beautiful shout out because this week is my anniversary that I met the woman of my dreams, my lovely wife, Mrs. April Davis, guys. Love this woman to death. Slow holler. I love her. Okay. Been together now for 10 years, and this woman has been a ray of light in my life. I would not know what to do without her. She inspires me every day. So please, guys, please, comment section. If you want to say happy anniversary, you can. I'm excited to share that with you guys because you guys are a part of, the No BS clique, baby. The No BS clique. That's how we roll. So without being said, please like and share, comment. I'm out of here, man.